Hi guys, so it's Monday evening. We're down here in the shop tonight. We're gonna get the race car out, get it washed. We came down here late yesterday evening, went ahead and got our tires washed up. That way, kind of split wash day sort of in half. Normally don't do that, but that's something we've done this week. We're going ahead and we're gonna get it pushed out. It's on the wash dolly. I don't know if you can see it up underneath there, but we're gonna push it out and get that taken care of, and all that good stuff, the fun stuff of racing. So real quick, just kind of want to touch on this past weekend. I know we had a bunch of comments and all and everything, so gonna go back and recap the weekend. Friday, or the very first feature, well, let me go ahead and restart. Let me just start it from the top. How about that? Went out, hot lap, felt pretty good in hot laps. Went out, qualifying, didn't really change much of nothing other than a tire, I believe. I think I talked myself out of making any adjustments. Qualified third in our group. That put us starting fifth. I believe time-wise, I think Joel added it up. I think he said we was actually like the 6th fastest time. Went out for the feature. Started fifth, like I said. We've lost a couple positions there early. Just didn't feel like my right rear tire came to me. Once my tire come to me, we kind of started holding our own. We had a issue with the GoPro camera inside the car, got covered in mud, and then it flipped upside down. So there was no in-car GoPro camera. The other camera that Dallas uses, she recorded the entire race, and when she finished recording, or when the race was over, she hit the record button to end recording. For some reason, it didn't save the last 15 or so laps. That was something that we did not find out about until the race was over. So the comment that said you need to have multiple cameras in case of equipment failures, sometimes you don't know those equipment failures. Okay, during the race, after the camera cut off, we was in the 7th, 8th position, somewhere in there, maybe 6th, 7th, 8th. There was a pretty big pileup happened. We narrowly missed it. I know the last car I seen was Morrow was on the bottom, and he looked like he got turned and was coming up towards me. I shot up to the wall, and I really thought I hit the wall, but luckily I was able to stay out of it, was able to get out of it. The red flag was then displayed. The track was completely blocked. Went on to finish the race. We finished 5th. Now, during that, before all that happened, we had some contact with our left front. We had some more contact with the body. The car behind me, when the wreck happened in front of us, didn't get woed up in time. Got into the quarter panels. I mean, it was just a chain reaction deal. So after that first feature, my mindset, my goal was to get the car back ready to go for the second feature. I didn't have time to come talk to a camera. I didn't have time to make sure everything was perfect. You know, yes, we bring you guys along for the ride as far as YouTube. We enjoy it. But our number one priority is that thing sitting right there. You know, Dallas is my biggest critic. When I go out there and I do something stupid or I don't do my job, she is the first person to tell me I screwed up or I need to do something better. Now, I can promise you, when she videos or something messes up with the video camera or the editing's not right, I'm the first person to criticize her. I can promise you that. So what I'm getting at is all the comments, you know, that everybody's saying, well, that was crappy footage, you didn't explain nothing, this, that, and the other. You know, it's part of it. It's going to happen. But I can promise you there's nothing that we didn't talk about before we published that video. So just kind of wanted to talk about that for a second. And it was a 2-part video, which is what she clearly said in the video. So if most of the stuff that we didn't talk about in the first video was talked about in the video that was published today. So if you haven't seen it, go back and watch that. So that recapped us for the first feature. Sam Seawright ended up winning the race, and he rolled the dice on the front straightaway for the invert. I was joking with somebody earlier in the night and saying that both times I have rolled that dice, I have rolled a 6 both times, and put me starting 6th after I've won the race. And I think the dice are weighted. So sure enough, Sam drew the 6, so that put us starting on the pole. Now, do I think we had a car capable of winning? No. Did not feel like we had a car capable of winning. After I found that out, that actually changed my mindset on some of the adjustments that I made. I should have been a little bit more aggressive with my changes, but I wasn't. I just didn't want to get myself out in left field and basically be a darn duck out of, or a fish out of water out there with the cars that was behind me, because I knew they was going to be coming. So, and don't get me wrong, that don't mean I didn't go out there and give it everything I had. I still gave it everything I had, obviously, but in my mind, I still knew we got work to do. We was a 5th or 6th place car all night long, and that's just the fact of the matter. We got to find about 3/10 on our time. So, second feature, we rolled out there. We actually did lead a couple of laps. Got our first super late model laps led, so I guess we can knock that off the I don't know, the check marks, I guess, the checkbook. Just take baby steps at a time, I guess. Maybe we'll lead some more the next time, and maybe we can lead the most important one sooner or later. Like I said, that was our second night on this motor. That's our second night to have that kind of horsepower. I personally have never had that much horsepower. Now, keep in mind, that's still only a 415, 418. That's still only a 415, so it's still not the power that some of the other guys have, but it's still enough to get the job done, I feel like. And, you know, I'm not sitting here trying to make excuses or anything. I'm just trying to fill you guys in, since y'all say we didn't do a good job of explaining nothing. Went out, led a couple laps. Same thing, just felt like the tires wasn't in the rear tires wasn't in the track. I just felt like I was on top of the track. After about 4 or 5 laps, it feels like it gets spongy. I'm not sure what's going on there. I don't know if it's the way I'm grooving my tires. I don't know if it's just the fact that, you know, I'm just flat out not used to this new style tire. I don't know. But one thing about it, we are going to work on it. We are going to get the bottom of it, and we will get it figured out. Like I said, we got to find about 3/10. 3/10 is better than we was, you know, at the beginning of the year. When we was running with the spec motor, we still needed to find a second. So 3/10 I can work with. A second was pushing it, but we can work with 3/10, and I'm very happy with that. Second feature we got through, pretty much nothing happened. The second feature, I talked about it, and you can see it in the video. Ryan Wilson, he did get up high, and you know, was glad. He had a pretty rough accident there, where he rode the wall and turned upside down, and that red flagged the race there for a little bit. And I felt like, you know, the progress that I made with getting the tire to come to me, I felt like that didn't help me at all. It just felt like the right rear tire had sealed back over after that, and definitely didn't have anything for anybody after that. So we just kind of got in position and rode. Got credited for 5th. That's where we should have been. 5th, 6th. That's about as fast as we was all night. But we will get this figured out. Like I said, not making excuses. We're just new to horsepower. We got to get it figured out. The adjustments compared to this, compared to that, compared to our sportsman motor we had last year, it's all different. It's in the ballpark, it's in the vicinity, but it's still going to be a little different. Just the fine-tuning adjustments, they're going to be a little bit different. And, you know, on top of that, we're running the new tires, just like I just talked about. New tires are hugely different. You can see right there, those tires, they come pre-grooved, sorta. You still got work to do to them. And last year on the rib tires, they were completely up to you to groove them. You know, you grooved them how you wanted, and I feel like maybe that might be some of the fact of why I'm not able to turn in. I don't know, but you know, if I can get the turning in figured out and get the car to to plant the rear tires in the track when I pick the fuel back up and not just skate across the track, I feel like we're gonna be good. That's, you know, and I've got tons of ideas on how to do that. It's just finding the time to try them and finding the time to get comfortable with them and what I like, what the car likes, what the motor likes. All right, so 6th place, 5th place finish on the weekend, 2 nights. Didn't tear anything up. That's a win-win situation. Our oil leaks seem to be fine. We've got to figure something out with our headers. The driver header, these were some headers that were not bought specific for this car. So the driver header is not fitting the way it should, and it's got a pretty tight fitment up against the cockpit bar. I'll show you what I'm talking about here. I'm not sure what chassis these headers came off of, but they came with the motor. And you can see it's right up against this bar right there. So what it's not doing, if you can see this, it's not allowing a good seal on the center of the header. And I made sure to put the silicone really thick right there when we put the motor in the other day. And it keeps blowing the gasket or the silicone out in that section of the header, and I believe it's because it's hitting that bar. It's not allowing it to suck up to the motor the way it needs to. So we do have an exhaust leak. We've got to get a set of headers for that motor for this car. That's the only thing I can see. I know you can buy extra, you know, I know you can call BA and actually, no, this is Schoenfeld, I'm sorry. Anyways, I'm not sure if you can Schoenfeld. I know you can BA. You can call them and get the different ones, just that part that you need to make it wider. I'm not sure about Schoenfeld, like I said. So, the plan this week is to, of course, pull the motor again. You can remember we had that motor in the other week when we got rained out at Mountain View. We got to go back to Mountain View this weekend for the makeup race. We will be on the pole for that race. It's a safe bet to say we can go ahead and change the motor early in the week and not have to do it late in the week because the rain chances, Lord willing, are great. There is no rain chance as of right now, so we're going to get that taken care of. That's our plans this week. Get the tires that we had at Mountain View over there in the corner. Get them mounted back up because you can run the tires from last year up there. So, nice guess. Some may say, why not use the new tires and get some more laps on them and learn them? That's because there's $1,200 sitting up there and we're sitting on the pole for that race. And those tires there are a lot better than the new tires in my opinion. So that's why I'm going to use those versus the new tires. Money basically. So anyways, enough of me harping, enough of me griping. Like I said, we're gonna get out here, get this thing pushed out, get it washed, get it cleaned up, get it done, get back home, and let Dallas give me a haircut because I look terrible. So get me a haircut and possibly maybe even mow the yard. If y'all hadn't seen our yard looks terrible. So that's the plan. All right, so here's the videographer. Y'all can gripe at her some more if you want to.
I was told not to say anything.
Y'all can gripe at her some more if you want to, and like I said in the video, it wasn't nothing that I hadn't already said, and me and her both are our biggest critics. She criticizes me, I criticize her just like I've already told you. So here she is.
All right, hey guys. So
How long was that?
10 minutes. No, 15 minutes. All right, so yeah, the video was not perfect this weekend. I'm aware of that. Hopefully that'll be fixed. I'm also not an editing expert, so that's that. Not perfect, don't claim to be perfect, never will be perfect. And like he said, our main focus is the race car. We do focus on the video a lot, but at the end of the day, I've said it in the comments, I'll say it again, I'm a mom and I'm the driver's wife. So along with doing the videos, I've also got other duties that I've got to do. Easily more important duties. So I'm sorry that video wasn't quality. like we normally produce, but we'll do better this week. Anyway, that's enough on that.
The stabilizer on the camera that you video messed up
Yes.
before we got there, so
Yeah, that's why the video was a little bit
that was
shaky.
why it was really shaky.
And the 10 laps it was on,
And
because
that's a very high dollar camera that is very smooth and clear, and any little bit of movement throws the quality off tremendously. So there was multiple things, and you know, you just
and
can't
Brad forgot chargers.
you just can't plan.
Brad forgot extra batteries.
Yeah.
So this was a team effort at screwing up this past weekend. So anyway, and then the second video that we put out earlier today was actually videoed with GoPro, because our good camera was dead for that second feature because we didn't have batteries and all of that. So it was just one of those nights where we just didn't have it together video wise, and sorry about that. We'll do better. Or race car wise, we had it. No, we didn't win. No, we weren't a top 3 car. But for your second racing super, you finished 5th and 6th. All right. So anyway, let's get this thing washed. Enough about us. Enough about complaining. Enough about the weekend. We're past it, and we'll move on to this week's Starling Pole, and hopefully our driver can keep us there instead of falling like a rock.
Yeah. That's the plan.
You didn't have a pole car this weekend, though, did you, babe?
No.
You just got inverted there.
Yeah, no. I mean, and you know, and like I said, I knew we didn't have a car to win with, but I don't mistake that. I'm not saying I didn't go out there and give it what I had.
Right.
But I'm smart enough to know what I had.
Right.
And I've been in that spot where Tidmore and Seawright and Cook and all them was. I've been in that spot where I've drew a 6 and the person sitting on the pole didn't need to be on the pole.
Right.
And I didn't want to be that guy that out there looked like a fish out of water, like I just said a second ago, and tear a bunch of crap up that didn't need to get tore up. So, I mean, I was going to give it all I had, but my goal was to not be in the way and tear crap up.
Right. You weren't going to race them hard because you knew they were better than you.
I couldn't.
Right.
If I'd have done that, we'd have tore crap up.
And they were all fast enough to where they could all get they could all get by you pretty clean on that second feature anyway. So yeah. Could have
happened on the first feature too.
Huh?
Could have happened on the first feature too.
Yeah, well, that first feature was a little bit rough. Unnecessary roughness, but it's alright. Alright.
Personal foul. Unnecessary roughness. Giving him the business.
It happens. No harm, no foul. Just sheet metal. So yeah, let's get this thing washed. Let's shut up. We've got a lot of stuff we could say on the whole weekend, because it was a disaster all the way around. But it definitely could have been worse. We're gonna chalk it up as a win. 2 top 10s, and it was a really good money that night. I think we ended up coming home with about $650, and that's normally what it pays to win the limited race. Actually, it pays $600 to win the limited race. So, where's it at, babe? So yeah, I mean that was the good thing about this weekend. We did recover just a little bit, and then hopefully we'll be able to recover a little bit more this weekend at Mountain View. Let's get this car out. Look how strong he is. Why is there just a random spot that's kind of clean right here?
You're asking the wrong person.
Maggie, did you do that? Watch out, baby Days. Gotta pull it back. Okay. You don't normally wash that. Okay. Alright.
I washed it on the dolly so long I done forgot how to do it.
Okay, alright. So the car's out there. Let's get to washing. We'll put you guys on the jack and turn it on time lapse so you guys can watch the wash process. Alright guys, so we got it backed into the shop just a little bit, letting it all drain out. Brad's already crunk it. Didn't think about getting a video of that, so I apologize. We are having some kind of a starter issue. I don't really know what it is. Do you have an idea what it is, babe?
I ain't got a clue.
It's just not wanting to engage. We don't know what's going on there. So we gotta get that addressed this week. He's finishing up washing everything. It's just not wanting to engage. I don't know. He said he had that problem in the second feature Saturday night. So Chris is getting some of the water off of the intake here, because it just kind of collects water in there. But yeah, she's washed and ready to be worked on this week. Plans are Mountain View Raceway this Saturday night. We will be starting on the pole. It will be a makeup feature from 2 weeks ago. So looking forward to getting back up there. But to be able to get back up there, we got to change motors. And I think Brad's already addressed this in the video earlier. Got to change motors to go back up there. And I think the rain chance is looking good for this weekend. So hopefully that stays the case. And we'll be back at Mountain View this weekend. Appreciate you guys watching this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I know there was a lot of stuff we touched on, just trying to clear some things up from this past Saturday night. And we'll catch you back in the shop sometime this week. Thanks to all of our partners: Warp Speed Performance Parts, Berry Apparel Co., Allsouth Signs and Graphix by Baby Designs, KT Heating and Air, Fatdaddys crew out of Lafayette, Indiana, Hammers Grading, Penske Racing Shocks, Brinn Transmission, and Gorsuch Performance. Thanks to all of those guys that make every bit of this possible. Also, huge thanks to Vinson for all he does for us motor-wise. We would not be running super if it weren't for his help, so we absolutely cannot thank him enough. He's what keeps this program running. So we hope you guys have a great week, and we'll see you back in the shop probably tomorrow.